Everybody went, of course it did. This is not meant to do this. Since about 2008, I've been involved in a race called the Great American Race. And I've either driven a car or I've been a support team for our, either the Hagerty team or something like that. In 2011, I was running it and I wanted to do it in something really unique. So I bought an Amphicar from my friend Jeff Lane because I thought it'd be really cool to go from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Bennington, Vermont over about 8 days of back roads in this time speed distance rally in an Amphicar. That'd be really cool. Jeff graciously loaned me this vehicle. They're really a lot of fun, and yeah, as long as your expectations aren't high on what it's going to do on land or water, it's a lot of fun. It'll go 65 maybe on the highway. We did all the fun stuff around Chattanooga and engaged the props and gave people rides in the lakes and down in the Tennessee River and the boat ramps, and we're just having a hoot. And I can just envision everywhere we go on this journey is going to be a magical adventure land of Amphicar rides and all that stuff. Well, we made it to Asheville, North Carolina, in the mountains. When the transmission went, climbing the mountains, everybody went, of course it did. This is not meant to do this. And I completely took the car apart in the parking lot of an IHOP. We were up till midnight, my team and I. You've got to take this big bench seat out. It's got a marine plywood floor that lifts out and that exposes, because in my heart of hearts, I knew it was just the linkage was jammed. That's all it was going to be, and you couldn't see it. It's got a transaxle in the back that runs the propellers and all that sort of stuff. So it's really kind of interesting the way it's all configured. Amphicars are really pretty cool. Well, anyway, it was not. It was an internal to the transmission problem. It would not come out of gear, and I felt terrible about it, that we were going to have to quit. And I mean, this is literally day 2, and this is a 7-day adventure to go do this. And I hate quitting in these races. I mean, you figure out duct tape and baling wire, but you get to the end of it. And I had a navigator that was a friend and a client of mine, and then I had a support team, which were 2 guys that work with me at Hagerty. And we had a support car, that was my car, and we had a flat trailer on it that was with us, and we were just kind of having that come along with us. And Asheville, North Carolina, from Nashville, Tennessee, I think it was maybe 6 or 7 hours if you just get on I-40 and just book it, right? And I said, we're going to get my Porsche. And they said, what? I said, we're going to get this Amphicar up on this trailer, and we're going to drive, and we're going to be at my house by 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to dump the Amphicar off. And I had a 68 911 short wheelbase car, which was ready to go. I just hadn't planned on using it for this. And I said, we're going to get the Porsche and we're going to go back up the route. And we knew where the next day's lunch stop was, which was Galax, Virginia. Again, kind of going up 81-ish, headed eventually toward, Vermont. I said, we're going to do this. I said, okay. So we loaded up, haul it, swap the car. It's pouring rain now. We're making terrible time. But we did. We made it to Galax for that next lunch. None of us had now slept in 30-some hours. Dumped the car off. We missed lunch because we were late, but hopped in the 911, and we had our route instructions for the day. So we knew where we needed to be starting at that lunch. Now, we were off time. We had no idea what our time of day start we'd missed and all that. So really the goal was just to catch up with everybody. We'd already DNF'd, but again, the idea was you got to finish this thing, get back in the game with it. So we trucked it, met up with everybody at the next hotel, and then used the 911. Everybody was very gracious. They really applauded us for going to so much effort to get the Porsche to finish the thing in. We put stickers back on it and ran the rest of the race. That car also had problems. It was really a good running car. It was really great. I'm the last person to sell a short wheelbase 911 for in the 30s, by the way, because 5 minutes after I sold mine, they quadrupled in value. Really solid. Hate I sold that car. But we pull into the lunch stop the next day, and I've got no gears whatsoever. There's a little metal cup that the ball rides in, like for the shift lever, and it was old. It had just sort of evaporated. This little ring had just completely come undone. You couldn't find the gear. It was completely out of whack. So we sit there, and there's one guy in Roanoke that had a part, charged me $200 for a shifter, which at the time was egregious. Now, parts being what they are, it's probably a deal. Again, we watch everybody leave, waiting for the part to get there. And to replace the shifter on an old 911, it's 3 bolts. Zip, zip, and it's done. And Chris was navigating for me that day. And I said, all right, Chris, we're gonna get there. He goes, okay. I said, hang on. We leave out and we're looking in the route book, and now this is a great race rally. So we're using a stock speedometer because, believe it or not, a stock VDO speedometer on a Volkswagen or a Porsche, if you have the right size tires on it, it is practically dead nuts accurate. And I had that, and so we could time ourselves with GPS and that kind of stuff for practice. And I was like, man, 60 on the stopwatch is 60 on this speedometer all the time. And it was really accurate at all the other speeds. So I was just running with that. And Chris is saying, okay, we're supposed to be going 20 miles an hour for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And that's this type of format. So you're looking for signs, you're looking for different ways to know you're going to correct speed. And then you have checkpoints. So we're going, and I said, okay, well, we're doing 50 and everybody else is supposed to be going 20. And I said, Chris, we're really getting lucky here because everybody's supposed to be going really slow. We're going to start catching people. And we needed to to get back in line correctly, we had to be like in 18th position. So there's got to be 70 cars ahead of us that we have to pass. We see the next car, and he's got a sheet of who was the order of start for that day. And you tick it off. And he goes, okay, that's the 34 Ford, right, go around him, go around him, go around him. Everybody's still going slow. We're making up time, and there was still no checkpoints. So if you hit a checkpoint in this type of racing and you're trying to make up time, well, you're done. That's your stop there. You just hold position, and then you begin your timing as you would correctly through. Well, if there's not a checkpoint, you can still keep going. We worked our way all the way back up to the front, to right where we were supposed to be, and then there was a checkpoint, and it turned out we were 6 seconds early on that leg after passing all these different people and having to put a shifter in at lunch and all that. So that was epic. We really were excited about it. Now, we were very lucky that there were some slow sections, and we're also very lucky that it was in the 911 that can go around corners really nicely when you need to go around corners really nicely, because that was a good car. Missed that car a lot.